Chapter 20: The 10 Principles of Sane Eating. Principle 1: Free yourself from calorie counting. Anyone who recommends that you count calories is leading you down a complex and counterproductive path for 3 major biological reasons. First, the underpinnings of calorie counting work on the assumption that you burn a fixed number of calories per day. In other words, if you normally burn 2,000 calories per day, then cut back to eating 1,500 calories per day, it assumes that you burn 500 calories worth of stored fat. This has been proved wrong in every study that examined it. Second, it is impossible to accurately calculate how many calories you burn. The internet is full of base metabolic rate, or BMR, calculators, and gyms are filled with cardio machines claiming to count calories. The truth is that there is no program or tool available to non-scientists that accurately measures how many calories you burn. And even if these web-based BMR calculators and cardio machine calculators were accurate, you would still be missing huge contributors to calories out, such as 1. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis, or NEAT. Calories burned via involuntary movements, such as fidgeting and involuntary and unnoticeable muscle movements. 2. Diet-induced thermogenesis, or DIT. Calories burned during digestion, especially when you eat protein. 3. Muscle protein synthesis, MPS. Calories burned in repairing lean tissue. 4. Excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, EPOC. The calories burned in recovering from intense exercise. Finally, you know that fewer calories in or more calories out does not in and of itself cause your body to burn fat. Studies have shown that extremely metabolically clogged mice will go so far as to burn off their vital organs for fuel and die before they burn off all of their body fat for fuel. You'll never face anything that extreme, but if you starve yourself, you will become ravenously hungry. Then your metabolism will slow down. Then you'll burn muscle. Then you'll burn a little fat. Then you'll give in to hunger. And then you'll sadly be fatter and sicker than ever before. Your sane scientific approach is to recognize that your body already balances calories and to enable it to balance you automatically at a slimmer body composition. New heading. Principle 2. Shift from thinking about short-term weight loss to thinking about long-term fat loss and health. As long as you focus on short-term weight loss, your efforts will not work out long-term. You have to keep this critical perspective in mind because common things that do help you lose weight short term do not help you to stay healthy and slim long term. The single most important step you can take to enable this mental shift is to get rid of tools that encourage starvation. The 2 most common examples are your scale and calorie counters. Please set goals that will focus you on the long term. I know that doing away with the scale and calorie counting can be incredibly difficult, but until you free yourself from worrying about your short-term weight, you will risk relapsing back into your old approaches that you now know do not work and will not work for the long term. Focus on getting healthier, not lighter. Again, focus on getting healthier, not lighter. When you do that, your body will take care of the rest. Principle 3. Set meaningful goals and a realistic timetable. If we're not going to define success according to weight, then how do we define success? Simple. Swap your scale for a measuring tape. The circumference of your waist is proved to be much more indicative of long term wellness and aesthetics than your weight. Measure your waist no more than once per month and do it on the same day of the week and at the same time to ensure the most accurate measurement possible. Alternatively, find a pair of pants you can't currently wear but would like to. Buy them. You will be wearing those pants in a couple of months, and much more important, for the rest of your life. Or at least until you want to buy another pair. Finally, visit your doctor and have her measure your body fat percentage, blood pressure, heart rate, fasting glucose, triglycerides, and cholesterol. After this, pick out your top 3 or 5 goals from the following list: waist measurement, body fat percentage, clothing size, cholesterol level, blood pressure, frequency of illness, mental sharpness, quality of sleep, strength, energy level, fitness level, mood, libido level, confidence, reduction in pain, athletic performance. Now, file that away and don't look at it again until you've gone sane for 3 months. Thanks to the misinformation we've been given, we have spent much of our entire lives creating hormonal clogs and elevating our set point. Now we have a choice to make. Will we starve ourselves and end up worse off than we were when we started? Or will we be patient while our body heals itself and then keeps us slim and healthy for the rest of our lives? Healing your body in this fundamental way we're discussing takes time. Think of it like this: you are an elite athlete who just broke your ankle. Now, you have to let your body heal itself for a few months. If you follow the recommendations arrived at by modern science, your body will fix itself and you will have a fully functional ankle for the rest of your life. But you need to have patience to get the best result. Healing your metabolism is a similar process that requires a similar timeline. I wish I could provide you with an exact timetable, but everyone's situation is unique. Trying to provide a universal timetable for your wellness goals is a bit like trying to provide a universal timetable for your financial goals. It's not possible, and anyone who says differently might be more interested in scams than science. How quickly you heal depends on at least how consistently you enjoy so much sane food that you are too full for insane processed products. More sanity means faster results. Tip: if you are using the Sane Premium plan found at sanesolution.com, you could interpret this question as how high you keep your sane score. A higher or greener score means faster results. How many green vegetables, especially the leafy kind, you eat. More greens means faster results. How consistently you hit your daily sane servings goal. More consistency means faster results. Tip: download your Sane mobile application to help you with this at sanesolution.com. How much body fat you'd like to burn. More fat to burn means more time needed. How frequently you've yo-yo dieted. More yo-yoing means more time needed. How old you are. More years means more time needed. How many children you've given birth to. More children means more time needed. How healthy you are. More medical issues means more time needed. how slim your parents are. Heavier parents means more time needed. How you live. More stress, more alcohol, and more late nights means more time needed. Most importantly, the speed of your success is dependent on your level of commitment to living a sane lifestyle. We all know nothing in life worth having comes for free. A clog free metabolism that keeps you slim and healthy for the rest of your life is worth having, and it does not come for free. You have to be willing to eat more and exercise less, but smarter, which isn't so bad, and to be patient. Repairing a lifetime worth of damage to your metabolism takes months, not weeks. Rome was not built in a day, and the same thing can be said for your new metabolism. How should you react when you hear your friend brag about the weight she just lost in a few weeks by following the latest quick fix fad? Just smile and nod. Sadly, she will not be bragging in a few months. Her efforts are like strapping a brace around her broken ankle and going dancing. Because she's focused on the short term, she has done more harm than good, but hopefully she'll realize that before her body becomes even more damaged. Principle 4. Rethink nutrition labels. You are already an expert in the general types of foods you can enjoy in abundance, but what about nutrition labels? How can you use them to help you identify the sanest options? Here are some quick tips. The more fiber, the better. The more protein, the better. The less sugar, the better. The fewer ingredients, the better. The more vitamins and minerals relative to calories, the better. If the ingredients include added sweeteners that contain calories, remember that really long list from earlier? Hydrogenated anything, trans anything, starch, or anything you cannot pronounce, avoid it. Don't pay too much attention to percentages. They do not reflect the actual nutrition or nutrients per calorie of the food. For example, it's easy to be led to believe that a low calorie serving of sugar saturated cereal is healthy because it provides 25% of the vitamin C necessary to avoid malnutrition. That's incorrect. Lastly, consider not paying attention to labels at all, since the most sane foods available, non starchy vegetables, seafood, meat, raw nuts and seeds, low fructose fruits, and so on, frequently don't have nutrition labels on them. You could even imagine that a major reason why we have nutrition labels at all is because much of what we find at the grocery store these days is so far from actual food that we have no way of knowing its health value without verbose instructions. Another way to think of this is that if you're spending a lot of time reading nutrition labels, you may be able to simplify your sanity by moving out of the center of the grocery store and enjoying the non starchy vegetables, nutrient dense protein, whole food fats, and low fructose fruits found on the perimeter that don't even have nutrition labels on them. Principle 5. Save money. Buy groceries in bulk. You can cut the cost of going sane in half if you do your grocery shopping at bulk wholesalers like Costco and Sam's Club, farmers markets, and through your Sane store at sanesolution.com, where we find the best deals on sane whole foods on the internet. If you do not have access to wholesalers or farmers markets, then make sure to buy enough non starchy vegetables and nutrient dense protein at your conventional grocery store to last you until they go on sale again. Frozen and freezable options are key in this scenario. Also, while it's wonderful to think local, If you don't have access to local wholesalers or farmers markets, embrace the internet as your global grocery store. If you're not used to buying food online, it can become overwhelming and, in some cases, dangerous. To help simplify sane shopping online, we've scoured the internet for you and found the best, most cost effective, sane whole food options. You can enjoy all of these at sanesolution.com and get super sane, nutrient dense whole food delivered right to your doorstep. Principle 6: Master snacking and on the go eating. You will find that when you go sane, you won't need to snack much because your meals will be full of satisfying food. As a general rule, if you need to snack, you're probably not eating enough sane food at meal times and should reassess the composition of those meals. Are you eating enough non starchy vegetables? Are you eating enough nutrient dense protein? Are you enjoying enough whole food fats? But if you do need a little energy boost, or you're simply craving a sweet, salty, or crunchy treat, here are my top 10 go to options. Top 10 sane snacks and treats: hard or soft boiled eggs, raw, non starchy vegetables with guacamole, sane smoothies, all natural, low sugar jerky, and unprocessed lunch meats, sane protein bars, berries, and low sugar sane protein powder mixed with plain Greek yogurt and cottage cheese, sane treats like fudge, cakes, pies, cookies, pudding, or ice cream made with 100% sane ingredients, baked kale chips, nuts or seeds, along with raw, non starchy vegetables, sugar free drinks with as few chemicals in them as possible. Ideally, these would be sweetened with natural non caloric sweeteners, such as stevia. These options can also come in handy while you're traveling. Also, note that freezing food, putting it in an insulated bag, and enjoying it after it thaws is another useful option. If you're eating out, avoid pasta dishes and ask your server to hold the starch, double the vegetables. Asian restaurants are easy. Eat the whole main dish and skip the rice, instead of eating half the main dish and a bunch of rice. If burgers are your only option, get a gigantic grass fed or lean burger and enjoy it without the bun. Principle 7: Simplify with green smoothies. While blending is not required, eating 10 or more servings of non starchy vegetables per day is much easier if you use a good blender to make non starchy vegetable and low fructose fruit smoothies. Don't use a juicer. It removes fiber and healthy nutrients. Use a blender and then customize this general formula. Pack as much spinach as you can into a good blender. Vitamix and Blendtec are excellent. Ninjas are quite good and less expensive. Add 1 or 2 handfuls of fresh or frozen strawberries or an orange. Add 30 grams of vanilla flavored low sugar sane protein powder and a little cinnamon. Add 1 or 2 tablespoons of sane superfood powder found at sanesolution.com. Add water and ice cubes. Blend completely. Adjust the amount of low sugar fruit, cinnamon, water, and ice cubes to make your perfect green smoothie. The neat thing about these smoothies is that by following these instructions, you will be able to consume 2 to 5 servings of non starchy vegetables raw while drinking something that tastes like a strawberry or orange creamsicle. It's hard to believe until you try it, but the taste of the spinach is completely masked by the low fructose fruits, vanilla, and sane superfood powder. And talk about convenience. You can make these a few at a time, enjoy them on the go throughout the day, and take care of your non starchy vegetable goal without having to cook. As you get more advanced with your green smoothies, you'll find non starchy vegetable combinations that will provide you with more nutrition in a quick and portable smoothie than most people consume in an entire week. Green smoothies may seem scary at first, but after trying them for just a week and seeing how you look and feel, you may find that living without them starts to feel even scarier. Principle 8: protect your sanity at events and holidays. Starches and sweets are everywhere during the holidays. The key to preserving your sanity is going to sound familiar. Keep yourself so satisfied with the water, fiber, and protein rich foods that you are too full for these sugar bombs, or at least so you can enjoy a bite and walk away smiling. If you know you're about to step into a starch and sweet saturated situation, then eat a lot of non starchy vegetables, nutrient dense protein, and whole food fats before you get to the party or walk into the lounge. Of course, it's fine to splurge occasionally, especially when you splurge intelligently by focusing on fatty rather than sugary or starchy treats. If you have to pick something from the cheese and meat platter or the cookie platter, splurge on the fatty cheeses and meats. Natural fats are a wonderful treat because they fill you up while keeping your fat storing hormones at bay. Sugars and starches do just the opposite. Splurge on fat to avoid storing fat. Finally, many of these situations actually make staying clog free simple, as buffets offer an array of non starchy vegetables, fruits, meats, seafood, nuts, and seeds. Simply fill half your plate with non starchy vegetables, fill the other half with seafood and meat, and then fill the gap with low fructose fruits, nuts, and cheeses, and enjoy. Still hungry? Repeat the first plate. As you know, the key to long term success isn't avoiding food. Hunger isn't healthy. Principle 9: enjoy lots of water and green tea. Your body requires at least 8 glasses of water per day to burn body fat effectively. More is better. Drinking a lot of water decreases the concentration of various substances in your blood, and this increases your body's ability to burn fat. This is called hypoosmolality. Additionally, continuously drinking cold water raises your metabolic rate. Studies show you burn about 2 additional calories for every ounce of cold water you drink. If your urine is not clear, if you are ever thirsty, or if you have room to drink things other than water or green tea, then you could be slimmer and healthier by drinking more water. The easiest way to drink an optimal amount of water is to fill up a gallon or 128-ounce jug in the morning and to make sure it's empty 2 hours before you go to bed. Another great way to boost your water intake is to fall in love with green tea. Green tea comes from the same plant as black tea, the tea most common in the United States and Europe, but it is processed differently. This unique processing leaves green tea with a large amount of substances called polyphenols, especially one known as ECGC. From a health perspective, the polyphenols in green tea have been shown to help prevent weight gain, cancer, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, dental issues, insulin resistance, virus infections, bone issues, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, kidney stones, eye issues, atherosclerosis, low HDL cholesterol, inflammatory bowel disease, diabetes, liver disease, bacterial issues. The body fat burned by green tea well outweighs the body fat burning effects of the small amount of caffeine in it, which is about 1/5 the caffeine in a cup of coffee. Researchers suspect that green tea's unique fat burning effect has to do with the interaction of this tea's polyphenols, caffeine, and the hormone noradrenaline. To maximize all the benefits green tea has to offer, aim to drink 10 bags worth of it per day. Now, you may be thinking, 10 bags of green tea on top of all of that water? I'm going to spend all day in the bathroom. I'll be really jittery and I won't have any money left. Isn't that too much fluid, too much caffeine, and too much money? Not if we're smart about it. Hydration. All the green tea you drink counts towards your water goals. If you drink 10 8-ounce cups of green tea, that counts as 10 8-ounce cups of water. Also, you can brew a lot of green tea in a little water. For example, I brew 8 bags of green tea at a time in 8 ounces of water. I let it sit for a few minutes, add ice, and then drink it quickly. Do that once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and you're good to go. Caffeine. Decaf green tea is as healthy and as helpful as regular green tea. You can choose decaffeinated green tea and get the same health benefits, but if you crave caffeine like me, never fear. A bag of regular green tea contains only about 30 milligrams of caffeine. Compare that with a cup of brewed coffee, which can contain up to 150 milligrams of caffeine. Most doctors advise that up to 300 milligrams of caffeine per day, or the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee, is safe. 10 bags of green tea deliver roughly the same amount of caffeine into your body as 2 cups of coffee, well within the safe range. Cost effectiveness. It is cheap and easy to buy regular or decaf green tea in bulk. I buy it online on the Sane store, and each month my green tea bill comes down to less than 25 cents per day, including shipping and handling. Also, keep in mind that there's a big difference between drinking green tea for enjoyment and drinking green tea for health. Tea is like wine. Just as there is $5 wine and $500 wine, there is incredibly inexpensive green tea that is still fabulously good for you, and then there is very expensive green tea that is no better for you, but tastes better. If you already enjoy more expensive tea, keep it up and add drinking at least 10 bags of less expensive green tea to your day. If you don't enjoy hot tea, add ice and drink it cold. If you prefer not to drink caffeine, try decaf. If you don't want to stain your teeth, drink it through a straw. If you don't like the taste, drink it with something you do like, such as a green smoothie. And stick to sipping green tea instead of swallowing green tea supplements. Studies show that most green tea supplements are not as good for you as natural green tea. If you are interested in optimizing green tea's health benefits, studies suggest that consuming it with lemon will help magnify its health boosting impact. Finally, drinking more water and green tea makes it easier to avoid sugary beverages. If it's not water, green tea, or something else calorie free, e.g., coffee without cream or sugar, or something you personally blended from Sane Foods, drinking it will almost certainly raise your set point fast and furiously. Principle 10. Forget perfection. Commit publicly, get support. It's reasonable to reach this point and say, I can't do all of that, or I don't want to do all of that. No problem. This isn't about being perfect. In fact, pursuing nutritional perfection is stressful, bad for your health, and is called orthorexia. Orthos means correct or right, and orexis means appetite. Avoid becoming orthorexic. Focus on getting the big things right most of the time. Arm yourself with the information necessary to look and feel good and apply as much or as little of it as you'd like, depending on how much body fat you'd like to lose and how much better you want to feel. What most people find is that they start doing the basics outlined here, love the results, and then want to go further. Again, sane eating favors practicality over perfection, and you can burn as little or as much body fat as you'd like. Want to burn up to 2 pounds of fat per week? Eat so much sane food that you're too full for insane food and exercise smarter. Have more modest goals? Eat less sane food and some insane food. Either way, you make the decision. The more non starchy vegetables and nutrient dense protein that you enjoy, the slimmer you will be. Regardless of your individual goals, it is critical to commit to them publicly. The science is clear. The more people who know about your commitment to sanity and the more frequently you update them, the more successful you will be. Again, the more public you are with your sanity, the more you leverage your social networks and your friends for support, the more successful you will be. If there is one key thing to avoid besides starches and sweets while going sane, it's trying to go sane by yourself. At the risk of being redundant, if you haven't checked out sanesolution.com, please do, as you'll find an abundance of free tools as well as mobile applications to help you go sane socially. When people ask you how much weight you've lost, tell them that you have no idea, but that you're wearing pants you couldn't zip up 3 months ago, have an absurd amount of energy, are falling asleep the minute your head hits the pillow, are free from medical conditions previously plaguing you, and are playing as much tennis as you did in high school. You will not be bragging. You will be setting an example of what health and fitness success really means, and you may change their lives while you're changing your own. New section. Now that we've covered how to go sane with your food choices, we're going to look at how you can get smarter with your exercise routine. And the amazing news is that it only takes about 20 minutes per week. A little smarter exercise clears hormonal clogs more effectively than a lot of traditional exercise thanks to its high potency. Just like eating, exercise is about quality. Let's look at how to make high quality, smarter exercise work for you. Sidebar. From pastry chef to sane gourmet. Carrie's story. Carrie started her career as one of the best pastry chefs in England. She also started her life as a naturally thin person. She could enjoy all the insane treats she liked while staying slim and without even thinking about joining a gym. Then she hit her late 30s. Nothing about her eating and exercise habits changed, but her body did. She watched in horror as the same body that had automatically kept her slim for over 3 decades suddenly became her enemy. In Carrie's words, "Now I know that just like everyone else's, my hormones and set point were changing with age, but I had no idea about this at the time and got depressed. My worst moment involved a trip to the doctor. I visited my doctor to help with my weight loss issues, and my doctor told me to drink only weight loss shakes and exercise as much as possible for 2 weeks. He said that this would prove that I could control my weight, but what followed were 2 horrible weeks. I was able to find 15 hours per week to exercise, but they came at the expense of relationships, sleep, my career, and my health. I was constantly hungry, tired, and in a mental fog. You can imagine the impact that had on my personal and professional life. But doctors know best, I guess." After 2 weeks of misery, I went back to my doctor and hit an all-time low when I found out my weight hadn't changed at all. I fired my doctor and started to look for alternatives. Sane eating appealed to me because it was diverse enough that I could continue to make delicious dishes, and it was food friendly enough that I could swear off hunger forever. Smarter exercise was a no brainer, as anything more than 30 minutes of exercise per week simply doesn't work for my schedule. In just a few months, I was back to my slim self despite having crossed the 40-year mark, and I'm still creating culinary treats with simple, sane substitutions. I'm never hungry, and my friends have no idea how I eat so much, exercise so little, and stay so slim. Also, my LDL cholesterol, yeah, that fell 100 points while eating more fat. I'm now dedicating a large part of my life to sharing delicious, sane dishes with everyone I can. I know firsthand that eating lots of delicious food and being healthy and slim doesn't have to be an either or decision. I know that not eating and doing a lot of exercise works, I guess, for some people, but I'm not one of them. And you don't have to be either.